Land Acknowledgement. As we gather together, we acknowledge the sacred land on which we reside. It has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. The territory was the subject of Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this gathering place is still the home of many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. We are also mindful of broken covenants and the need to strive to make right with all our relations. Last but certainly not least, we acknowledge the people of African descent who were brought here against their own will or in search of a safe place to live their lives and raise their children. Reconnaissance des terres. En nous rassemblant, nous reconnaissons la terre sacrée sur laquelle nous résidons. C'est un site d'activité humaine depuis 15 000 ans. Cette terre est le territoire des Premières Nations Huron-Wendat et Petun, les Scéniques et plus récemment les Mississaugas de la rivière Crédit. Le territoire était sujet de l'alliance de la ceinture Wampum plat avec cuillère, un accord entre la Confédération Iroquois et Confédération des Ojibwe et des nations alliées à partager et à prendre soin pacifiquement pour les ressources autour des Grands Lacs. Aujourd'hui, ce lieu de rassemblement est toujours le foyer de nombreux peuples autochtones de toute l'île de la Tortue et nous sommes reconnaissants d'avoir la possibilité de travailler dans la communauté sur ce territoire. Nous sommes également conscients des alliances brisées et de la nécessité de nous efforcer de guérir toutes nos relations. Dernier point, mais non le moindre, nous remercions les personnes d'ascendance africaine qui ont été amenées ici contre leur volonté ou à la recherche d'un endroit sûr où vivre leur vie et élever leurs enfants.
Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Ask a Professional at the BBPA. I'm excited, and I hope you're all excited too, because we've had some phenomenal sessions over the last few weeks, and today will be no short of inspirational. I'm telling you that because I spoke with our speakers previously, and I'm so inspired, and today we're going to be speaking with Ashanti and Juliet about Black women in trades. I'm going to just, how's everyone doing? Before we get started, let me hear, how is everyone doing? I want to see who's joined us today. Please just hit me up in the chat. Let me know how you're doing, where you're joining from. Is this your first session from this segment of Women's Celebration for International Women's Month? Or is it International Women's Month, International Women's History Month, I believe it is. Yes, so is this your first session? We've had 3 sessions so far, and we're closing off next week, but today is going to be fire. Okay, Trish from Montreal, this is your first session. Welcome, Trish. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're all doing well. Spring has sprung, and I think the weather is starting to warm up a little bit. And I think there's no perfect time than to speak about what we're talking about right now, which is Black women in trades. Now, there's the link in the chat. Feel free to share with your colleagues, your friends. We're here till 1 p.m. And like I said, you may not be interested in carpentry or construction or anything like that, but I'm telling you, you will be inspired as a woman. Invite your male colleagues as well, because this will be great. Now, without further ado, I am going to welcome Juliet Hall. She is an apprentice carpenter with Local 27, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America. She is working on becoming a Red Seal Journeywoman. She's an elected delegate for the Carpenters District Council of Ontario and also the Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Committee for Local 27. Juliet enjoys getting involved and volunteering in local community initiatives through the Carpenters Union and partnering organizations. Juliet, How are you
Hello,
doing?
hello. I'm well, thank you. Thank you. I'm well, Moya. And hello, Ashanti. And hello, everyone.
So good
Yes,
to
I'm good to
have
hear.
you. She has a very
Thank you.
calm demeanor. Our other guest doesn't necessarily have as calm as a demeanor as this one, but you will see why anyone, doesn't matter your personality or where your background, you can get into the trades if you really want to. Now, I'm going to introduce their next panelist. Her name is Ashanti Osei. And I'm going to just read what she sent here. She said her mission is to build with vision, to perform all of her work with pride, and to deliver beyond expectations while developing valued client relationships and customer satisfaction with high quality. Now, listen to this. She's a woman of color, hey, representing owner of a construction and renovations company called Keys to Your Home Renovations. It is her life passion to use the trades to improve the lives of family homes throughout Canada with renovations, revitalization, and structure revitalization projects. In her short time of operation, she has worked over 300 projects. Come on, like snap, snap, okay? In her where did I leave out? Including homes, condominiums, schools, church and religious centers, and small businesses. Her company is well experienced in all flooring types, kitchens, basements, bathrooms, drywall finishes, plumbing, electrical, full gut out renovations projects, and more. She's also a carpenter by trade, woodworking and steel framing. She reads blueprints and build to blueprint drawings and design. You know what? I'm going to stop right there, Ashanti Osei, because listen, I spoke with you not too long ago and I was inspired. Now, I don't necessarily want to do trades, but I'm telling you, your tenacity, your courage, your determination, your energy from both of you, it is quite inspirational. So how are you doing, Ashanti?
I am doing excellent. Thank you so much for having me on this platform here. Like, that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to break barriers, create opportunity, inspire our ladies out there in the generation coming. You know, like, it's my heartbeat to definitely get the youths into the skilled trades. It's so important right now, especially the way things are going and stuff like that. So, you know, we're here. We're here.
I am so happy
We're here to rock things, you know.
And I'm so happy to have you because we know that you're on site right now and you can see in the background, right? She's on site. How incredible is that? And she's taking the time out to speak with us today. So we thank you so much for both of you, for both your times. I'm going to ask you, since you've already started, Ashanti, what inspired you to pursue a career in trade and how did you get started in the field?
Well, this happened quite some time ago. I would say about 11 years ago is when I first started as a carpenter. That was the very first trade I ever stepped into. I was just tired of the regular jobs. You know, my first job was for McDonald's. I had telecommunication jobs where I would, you know, make calls to people and talk about stuff verbatim. And it was just tiring. I just felt like there was something missing. I wasn't being fulfilled the way I wanted to. So I knew that anytime I would drive around or see a construction site and things going on, I would like have this beat in my heart, like, man, like I know I can do this. I know they're males. I know it's a man's job, but I know that I have the strength and the will to do it too. So one day I just dropped everything and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a risk. And I walked onto a construction site. It's a residential homes, framing residential homes. This was Mattamy Homes at that time. And I saw a crew that was just framing a house, and I walked onto the house and I was like, you know what? I want to do this. Like, I want to get experience. I want to know, I don't care about the money. I just want to get experience and learn how to frame. And then I started framing houses, literally from the foundation to the roof. Like, I mean, lifting up walls, building walls, window openings, leveling everything, then putting on joists, the subfloor, then your next walls for your second floor, and then we get to the roof, setting out the roof trusses, building all the fascias around, and slapping up all. I'm sure Juliet knows exactly what I am talking about, you know. So just I was just doing that, and just seeing sometimes when I was up on the roof working, and you can see the other gentlemen on their house working. We're looking across at each other, and they're just looking at me in awe, right? So I knew that I was doing something that was definitely out of the norm. And it felt a little nervous, obviously, because I was the only one. I've not one job site I've been to, I ever saw a female working my whole time being a framer. You know what I mean? I'm still a framer. I frame basements, do all of that. Every now and then when I get a custom home, I'll take it on. Yeah, it was just a thing where I decided to really take it serious. Learning how to read the blueprint. I did not want to stay a general laborer. I did not want to continue busting my ass and, you know, lifting up crazy lumber. I wanted to step up, you know, because I had the experience. Now I wanted to step up from that general labor level and excel myself. So the only way that I could have done that was learn how to read blueprints. I'm gonna say this again to everybody listening. Learn how to read a blueprint. And the most basic of it all is please learn how to read a measuring tape. You have to know how to read a measuring tape. This field is math, calculations, fractions, you know what I mean? So you have to know how to, it makes things so much easier to train a new employee, a new apprentice. It just makes things so much easier. So that's my story. That's how I got into that. I started carpentry, I got into tiling in Alberta. We did like so many Tim Hortons, malls, Mark's Work Warehouse. We did a lot of those. And you guys know, before anything can go inside a store, a restaurant, tiles have to go on first. Bathrooms, no matter what, before they can put any appliances into the kitchens or whatever, that has to be the first thing that's done. So I've laid thousands and thousands and thousands of square feet of tiles, you know, so this is why I can do kitchens, bathrooms, and all of that, like that, you know. So
that is amazing, Ashanti. That is incredible. Like, you've just given us like this is incredible. This is going, and you can tell that you have the passion for what you do, right? Just by how you speak about it. So thank you so much for sharing that. Just how you started onto that job site, having no background in construction. That is quite incredible.
How do you hire me? Go to my website. You can definitely go to my website. I built my website so that it's easy for people to be able to maneuver through. You can send in an application with pictures and all of that, videos, and then we can get the process going. So
all right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that part at the end, but I thank you so much for that. I'm going to jump over to my dear Juliet Hall.
Yes, Juliet.
Juliet,
Yes,
how
hi.
did you start in your career, and what inspired you?
Well, mine isn't as exciting as Ashanti's.
Oh,
But,
don't say that.
that was something that's incredible. For
Appreciate
me, I started. I've always loved working with my hands. I've always done little projects. I went to school for fashion design, and I've also did other jobs that in the past. Yes, I enjoyed it, but it's time for a change. So what has happened, what occurred with me was I saw a listing at a local school that was giving workshop on carpentry. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to take this course and see how it goes. I loved it. I loved it. I love using the saws, the miter saws, you have on your gear, you feel empowered that you're able to build. Even we were doing framing. We started to learn how to do framing of walls in that course. From that course, I was recommended to do a pre-apprenticeship. And that pre-apprenticeship was 5.5 months. And I did that where we did building 2 small homes in groups of 9. And it was all women at that pre-apprenticeship. And so, as Ashanti said, we were doing the foundation, doing the flooring, doing the drywall. We put up the truss, we did shingles, we did tiling, we did a little bit of everything. We did the door, putting the door jambs and on the windows. We made a complete house. And that was one of the most fulfilling with no background as such previously in construction. And from there, however, I didn't there was no job placement. So I was like, oh, I'm learning all this. What am I going to do? And so I found I was connected with an organization, a nonprofit organization in Toronto called TCBN. Now they are connecting with all different unions. So they help especially people of color in the trades. So if you're wanting to be an electrician, if you're wanting to do HVAC, plumbing, carpentry, that's a great place to go to connect, and they will connect you and you can learn courses. And then I got connected with the union, and I've been with the union for 3 years now. And I've been working as a carpenter, doing some of what you said, slugging it out, carrying those heavy lifting on site. And I mainly do form work right now. So I do construction, mainly foundation form work, and I'm looking, before I get my red seal, because since I'm an apprentice, to move into the finish work, because that's where my end goal is to do finishing and also being able to renovate. So
that is incredible. Listen, are you not inspired? Listen, audience members, let me hear from you. I do see some stuff in the chat there, but are you not inspired by these phenomenal women? I must say that I worked for a company, Black & Decker, Stanley Black & Decker, and they sell all the miter saws, the drills, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I must say that it was sort of a part-time job that I took on after coming back from the Caribbean. And when I was working there, I must tell you that I had absolutely no interest for the tools, right? So I spent most of my time just having these deep conversations with the customers, but it's just so incredible to see how what pulls at you, what tugs at you is what you ought to really investigate and pursue. And I think you're just a prime example of, you know, that thing that sort of makes you, you know, that fires you up is the thing that we ought to kind of pay attention to. Right. And I'm really just privileged right now just to be speaking to both of you. So let me ask you, Ashanti, did you, I mean, I know you talked about, you know, when you were putting up the windows and all these different things and the men on the other side looking at you in awe because you knew it wasn't normal for a woman in this role, right? Now, but have you experienced any pushback, any challenges as a Black woman in your trade?
100%. You guys don't even want me to begin a story. 100%. Push. I've got. I'll be honest. I've almost. I was framing a house, and I don't know. This guy was just not having it. Like he was just, you know, pushing me too hard, letting me do all the labor work, and I was just feeling a bit abused. And usually when we're framing houses, Juliet will know, when you have a stair opening, you usually have like a piece of plywood or anything that goes on top of it where it says, or you mark X, or everybody knows there's an opening there, right? This guy just put a piece of board there. I didn't see anything written on it, like don't step in or whatever. And I stepped right into it and I fell straight down to the main floor. And I was about a foot away from dropping straight down into the basement. Yeah, I've been through so much. Like my very last draw, when I said I stepped, I was talking to you, Moy, when I said, you know, the last straw for me was when the guy that I was working with at that time, he asked me to do something in the basement and I was doing it, but I wasn't getting the 2x4 into the hole properly, right? And he was like, and that day he was so frustrated and he was like very upset. And then he jumped down, came to the basement. He's like, man, you don't have no brains. You don't have no brains to understand and do this. From when he said that, it's like fire ran through my entire body. And I took off my tool belt. Same tool belt I have right here. I've had this tool belt ever since I started framing. All right, I've never switched it, and the reason why I keep this tool belt with me, because it's a reminder of all the hardship that I went through, is why I continue to keep this tool belt. And I dropped my tool belt and I told him, you know what, I'm done here, and I promise you, one day you're gonna work for me. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't him per se, but his father. It was a family business. So his father, one day I was framing, I was doing a custom home in Kawartha Lakes, and his father ended up coming to put in all my steel beams for my all my steel posts for my steel beams that were going up. So I've had so much pushback, you know, like I've had things say to me like, you know, like you're not able to do this, or you know, you think you have the strength to do it. And I've proved them wrong, like all the way wrong, you know, and it has nothing to do with like strength per se, you know, it's just techniques, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lifting properly, using the proper techniques and lifting things that you're capable of lifting, you know what I mean? So it was a thing where like I experienced it, but I have this this endurance in me that like I don't see barriers. I absolutely do not see barriers. I don't want none of you guys, none of you women to see any barrier at all. You may have fear that'll settle in maybe because, you know, you're around males or whatever it is, but stand up, you know, stand up, you know, because we have the ability to do this. And you can be anything. You don't have to be a full-on GC. You can master a skill, a painter, an electrician, plumber. You can master a skill, and I promise you, they will always need you for the rest of life. You know, when all the other jobs are going to be taken over by robots, you have a skill that no one will be ever able to take from you, and you'll always have work and be able to at least put food on your table sometime. So
That is
That's
incredible. That is great, because we have been speaking a lot about technology, AI, and all of that stuff. And I think that's an important point that you just made, that here are some skills that a robot cannot do the job that you do.
not right
Right?
now, not right now, not right
At
now
least
at all.
not, at least not right now,
No.
right? So that is amazing.
And there
Now,
is also,
Juliet, go ahead,
Amen
Juliet.
to
You
that.
can,
no, I was just gonna say, and there's also right now, there's a shortage, there's a crisis right now where
Yeah.
skilled trades are needed right
Right.
now.
Right.
We need carpenters, we need electricians, we need HVACs, we need plumbers, we need them all right now on the site. And the money, the benefit. I know that you're self-employed, and I'm on the opposite side. I'm with a union, so
Right.
I'm with
That's-
a union, but the pay is good. It's it can assist and help, you know, to feed a family. You can live well on it.
Yes.
Yeah, benefits, we have benefits, you know, we have pensions. The younger you get in, especially for those who are coming out of high school, there's courses, there's OEAP courses for those who are in high school, grade 11, grade 12. If it's tell us all the young kids that you know, because by the time within 4 years, as a carpenter, they can be making $50 an hour. What 22-year-old can be making $50 an hour and have benefits and excellent pension by the time? So it's there. It's there for the taking.
It's there.
Yeah,
For sure. And like, as you said, Juliet, like to top on that, and on top of there being a great shortage, there's only 2% of women, and this is just Ontario I'm talking about, that are actually hands-on in the trades. So we have a long, big gap and a long way to go, you know. And as you said, we have to start getting the parents need to understand what's going on, and they need to push their kids into the skilled trades. You know, I think that is detrimental to our future going forward, to be honest.
And it will be with them, this skill will be with them for life, life.
Right.
And where they can even pass on the knowledge to someone else.
It's the generational wealth that we're looking for, right? Like Ellis Dawn and stuff. Like, we want Black companies that can have generational consistency like that, right? So this is what I'm building. This is what we're building to, because, you know, right now I know I'm Keys to Your Home renovations, but I will be Keys to Your Home estates. I will be doing land development and actually be a Madame Homes for sure, you know. So
very nice.
We got it going on.
We are going to get to some questions. I hear Sorry, Sarah mentioned in the chat that our biggest barriers often our inability to imagine and believe ourselves in certain professions and roles. Thanks, Ashanti, for the reminder about not placing barriers on ourselves. Do you all go to schools to speak about this? This would be transformative for young Black kids to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go, Juliet.
So I was going to say, yes, I'm on the Equity and Diversity Committee for Local 27, which is the largest carpenters union. It's a Toronto union. We go to schools all over the GTA, and we go to we outreach even to community events. A lot of community events. We're there. We speak with the parents. We give information pamphlet. We even volunteer within the community, and in regards to development, or even helping out with whatever their needs are. So yeah, we do that.
Very nice. Now, I'd
Yeah.
like to know, how have you seen the landscape change over the years? Have you seen any changes from the time that you first started? Either of you can answer this question.
Yeah, I'll answer first. Yes, I have. I've seen some changes. I've seen a lot more women try to get into the trades and stuff like that. I do see a lot more women looking to get into the trades. A lot of electricians. The thing is, I'm going to be very honest with you. Less of our urban women are getting into the trades, and that needs to step up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm seeing. You'll see a lot of you know what I mean, other races, but like I know that Black women can handle this as well with no problem, so yeah.
For me, I've seen in the past 3 years that I've been doing this, I've seen a big increase. So when I go to my meetings, let's say I would say I'm talking about like a 300% increase, not in just Black, but in also other minority. I'm seeing Asian women. They're petite and tiny, but they're coming in and they're on the job site doing the same as a man. So so it's not about, as you said, the size, it's not about the strength, it's how you do the job and how you perform the task. And sometimes we just need somebody to teach you. You need somebody to teach you how to carry that piece of 4x4 or so forth like that. That's 16 feet long, and you have to carry like 2 of them on. It's how to do it. But there has been, an increase in women in the carpentry. So
Definitely.
Very nice.
Yeah.
This makes me want to take a workshop or something. Even the basics of reading and
we got
measuring.
training coming on soon, girl. I'm gonna be expanding all of that. You know what I mean? We gonna start from basics.
That is great. That is really good. Now, what advice would you give a Black woman who's interested in getting into the trades? What would you say to them?
I would say see no barrier, and get yourself in good shape if you have to, because we have to anyways. Start eating well, get into the trades, stay focused, and I know like a lot of women don't want to be around men because of obviously you're going to be around men that makes comments and says things and that, but in this trade, in this industry, you have to have thick skin. You have to have alligator skin, and sometimes it's you have to let certain things just drop off you, just water down off you. You know what I mean? Don't take it in too much, because when you do, that hinders you from seeing the focus. You know what I mean? Seeing the goal at the end of it. So I just say, just don't look at anything, just know that you can do it, and there's no barriers. That's my one slogan, other than women's building futures, is I see no barriers. There's no barriers. So once you have that mentality, you just know that, no matter how long it takes, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? There's always going to be you're gonna have to start from the bottom of the tadpole. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? So just stay consistent. Consistency is like my favorite word, and you'll do fine. You'll do fine.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I'll add on to that when you're saying, no barriers, that's correct. And having a thick skin, and also you have to be a people person. Sometimes you might be on a site with somebody, as you said, and they may say things, they annoy you, but as you said, just let it go and focus on your work, what you have to be doing, and doing it safely too. For those who are interested in even doing the trades, research on the trades, see what you may like, contact even some of the unions, maybe you can get a tour, networking, just tell people that you're interested. Somebody might know somebody that might know Ashanti that says, oh, okay, bring that person on, let's see. So just speaking what your intentions are, there's somebody might be listening and networking. Yeah, so that's a few things.
Very nice. I love what you said, Juliet, about knowing how to deal with people, because what you're telling us here, that even when you get into the trades, the interpersonal skill set is also very, very important, because we might think all we need is the technical skill set and that's it. You're saying, no, you need to be well-rounded. You need to have that interpersonal skill set to deal with your employees or your fellow workers. Now, Ashanti, so currently you're running a team then, because there's a job site that you're on. So there are men that are under you that have to take instruction from you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you share a little bit of your experience with me in terms of that? How does that work out?
Come say hi. Come say hi, Steve. Hi. How does it?
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi there.
Don't feel no way. Somebody have to be your boss. Right?
Very nice.
I'm a boss too, but somebody be my boss too.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
nice. Right or wrong?
Yeah. So that's what it is. 90% of my team is male. I wish that could change. I'm looking for females. I definitely want females to come on the train more. And that's just what it is. But this is how I get things done. And one thing with I don't know if I mentioned with HGTV, you have to have strong teams. Like you have to be able to
tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about the HGTV.
Well, you guys are looking at the first Black female contractor on HGTV in 25 years. Finally.
That is incredible.
You know what I mean? Finally.
So this is Home and Garden Television Network. Is that right? Wow. Did I say that right? Home and Garden Television?
Correct. So that's HGTV right there, Canada. And they said they were watching me for 3 years. They just pulled me right into this show. I didn't even do any like sessions or whatever the case is. Just threw me right in. I was given 2 houses, and then after my first one, they ended up giving me a third one. So out of the 8 episodes, eight episodes for that show, they gave me 3 of them, which is almost half of that season. So I did half of Styled as the only Black female contractor on the show. So it's been good. I cannot complain at all. After I finished talking to you guys today, I actually have the executive producer, like the top boss flew down from Las Vegas, and he's coming to visit me here at the job site today.
The chat is blowing up right now. That's amazing.
Yes, congratulations.
That's incredible. Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Now,
it's gonna be a thing, you know.
So was it you just showing your stuff on social media? Is that what you were doing? Were you filming and putting it on YouTube? What were you doing to...
I actually don't have a YouTube platform, which I need to get. I think I'm gonna jump on that sometime in the beginning of the year. But it was just me just showing my work, right? Not being afraid at all to show that, like, we do this, we're out here, right? I was an underdog for so many years throughout framing, and then my last 4 years is when I started putting my stuff out. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. And I guess they were just I don't know how or what or who, I have no clue. But I did do a CBC I was also interviewed by CBC. So I don't know if they whiffed off of that or what it is, but other than that, I'm just thankful that they chose me and they trusted in me, and we killed these projects. You guys are never gonna see projects like this on HGTV ever. We stepped it up because they decided. I also give them credit because they wanted to step out of the norm themselves, right? When they approached me, they're like, you know what? We have so much of, other cultures in HGTV, but we want to bring urban into it. So we're represented on this. There's
That I am
Congratulations.
so excited.
History.
Thank you so much for that. Everyone in the chat, what's congrats Ashanti. Now I have to get cable.
It's also going to be on Hulu. So Hulu, cable, global. Just don't miss it. I want y'all to really, really understand the scope of what you guys are going to see on this show.
That is incredible. Black women are now the most educated, which equals spending money. They have to see us now. No, thank you so much. That is, thank you for sharing that. That's very, we were talking to a panel of aviation, Black women in aviation last week. And one of the things, the theme messages that they delivered was just to function in excellence. Because when you, regardless of your color, regardless of where you're from, regardless of your accents, how you look, at the end of the day, when you are functioning in that level of excellence, they can't ignore you. And that's what I'm seeing. And that's what you're showing us. So thank you. Like, I would love to see your work.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You will, man. You could check my social media. I have some stuff over there. Now that I'm done with HGTV for this season here, I can start getting back on my own jobs now and start because I can't post nothing right until it airs. So now I get back on my own personal clients, and I'm going to be starting posting again and getting content out there. So
very nice. So we do want to know though. So we know that you're able to deliver at a level of excellence, but when you first started, as much as you were ignited by the work and so forth, we know that maybe you weren't as developed. Now, what did you do to develop your skills and expertise over the years in your trade? And I'm going to ask you the same question as well, Juliet. Okay. How did you develop over the years your skills and expertise? And were there resources that you had to tap into that were helpful to you along the way?
Okay, so what helped me was, I'm going to be really honest, is I learned a lot by myself. I did a lot of these projects you're seeing now before I had a team. I was doing them by myself, full bathrooms by myself. And I just kept on going and kept on learning. I had tradesmen that beside me that, would look out for me and show me a better way of doing this or a faster way of getting this done. And, that would help so much. And just doing research, like Juliet said, YouTube University, don't play. Anything you need to know is there as well. You don't have to go to school right now and pay thousands of dollars. YouTube University is there, and you can, search up how to frame a wall, how to cut studs. Everything is there, right? So that really helped me along the way. And when it comes to tools, it's now that I'm starting to get brands that are sending me tools and stuff that will continue to help me. So that's something that I'm really excited about. I'm going to be collabing with Milwaukee very soon. And so there's
what?
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of big things coming right now. It's just overwhelming, to be honest with you. I never thought that it would actually reach where it is right now, but because of consistency.
Yeah.
And no matter what, you'll always, the more you do something, the more perfect you'll be at it. Like perfection comes as you go. And even guys that have been in the trades for 20 years, they're still learning. It's a consistent thing. You never stop learning. You hear him? What you say, Steve?
Never stop learning.
You never stop learning in this trade. It's always a consistent drive. You know what I mean? So I hope I answered you.
You certainly did. And you know what I like about these sessions is that even though they're very topical, at the end of the day, you can learn so much just in terms of just skills that you can develop that you can apply to any aspect of your life. And I really, really love that. Thank you so much. Juliet, how about you? Let me know. How about you?
Yes, for me, right now, I'm just in awe with what's happening with Ashanti and seeing that it's just like, yeah, congratulations. And it's just incredible. Because you see, I'm in awe right now just because I am headed, I know I'm headed that way. I want to go that way.
Nice,
And just
nice.
hearing all
Come on
this from
in.
you see, because it's just, wow, I'm just,
There's lots of room. I need more of
yeah,
you.
it's just like,
We
wow.
need people, you know? We need a team.
So
I need a big team.
yeah, so
Very nice.
for myself, as I said, with the way how I've been moving forward or developing, it's because I can only speak by being with the union, and they've helped me so much because there's always continuing ed classes. I'm always taking classes to upgrade my skills. Some of these classes is not just only for learning how to use the tools or even just doing carpentry. I've also just took a class on being a job steward. So there's also the people aspect and managing and learning how to work with others. So there's always the continuing. So I've been doing that. And for me, I have a mentor, and he's my foreman, and he's a
Wow.
Jamaican. So I'm
Wow.
lucky that I have somebody on to look out for me. So that's been really good. And he's been in the business for 37 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
big up, Dan.
Yeah.
He's been,
Yeah.
So that really, it helps.
I think behind every
helps.
woman's success in this trade, there is that male that really pushes you and sees that there is no barrier for you as well. So I really appreciate you, because I do have, you know, guys like that around that are very respectful, never disrespectful. You know what I mean? And you're working in a beautiful environment. You joke, you laugh, we joke all the time and stuff, you know. So it's a fun environment, you know. It becomes very fun.
Make work fun. Yeah.
That is so incredible. I'm inspired. I really am. Someone wants to know, Ruth in the chat says that, has it aired? We're talking about the HTV project.
No, it's aired. No, it's airing in the fall. They're editing right now. I think they just finished a last reveal with some of the other shows. So I started in October, finished in January, and I think they have 2 more shows to wrap up, and that's it. They're gonna do the edits and air it out on in fall. So
look out for Ashanti Osei. It's Keys to Renovations?
Yeah, keys to your home renovations.
Keys to your home renovations.
We're holding the keys to the cities, ladies. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, with all the incredible work that you do in construction and in the trades, how do you balance the physical demands of your job and the other aspects of your life, such as family and your personal interests? How do you balance that?
So how do I balance that? I right now I try to take weekends off. No more weekends. You know, I've done weekends for so long, but unless it's detrimental, I try to take weekends off, and that's where I usually spend time with family, get paperwork done, send in quotes, emails, and kind of just I do take the time, y'all, to meditate. I do meditate every morning, which keeps me balanced, you know, throughout the day, and just helps me to push forward. I listen to a lot of meditational like audios and stuff like that. Like these are like, we need to feed our spirit. Like you have to feed your spirit, and just know that, you know, the universe, God will guide you and lead you to where you want to go. So
Thank you for sharing that. Now I know you said on the weekends you do paperwork and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's still working. That's still working.
I know. I'm not gonna lie to you. For the past 3 years, I've been going in. I know I need a vacation. I can take a vacation still, but I will do that. I think in May.
And I think that's okay too. I think once you, you have goals, because not every season's going to look the same, right? There may
Right.
be a season where it's less busy for you and you're able to relax and vacation a little bit more. So I think that's also okay too.
Right.
Juliet, how about you? How do you balance everything?
Well, for me, I'm doing form work right now. It's very demanding on the body. It's really demanding on the body. It's a lot, and I try and get as much rest as I can. Sometimes I come home, I'm tired, my body's tired, and I try to get the rest. In the mornings, I try and stretch before work because you really need to have some kind of limber body. Yeah. So I stretch. And then I just schedule time off. I don't work on weekends unless it's overtime, that's double.
Yep.
So
Yep.
weekends is double. And so that's only if they ask, but otherwise my weekends is my time with my family. So that's how that is. So I'm lucky in that
Very nice,
aspect.
very nice. It is so intriguing when I see just the calm demeanor of Juliet.
I know, I
And
love
here's
it.
a woman, I would love to see you on site, like on the job, like getting your hands dirty. That's something that I would certainly like.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And then of course, I'm blown away by your passion and just your zeal and just your level of excellence, Ashanti, is just absolutely amazing. Now, in terms of misconceptions, so what do you think the biggest misconceptions are where Black women are concerned as it pertains to the trades? What do you think the biggest misconceptions are? And how, and do you address it? Do you ever take that on and address it, or do you just kind of, is it one of those things that you let kind of slide off?
I'm so quick to address. I'm so quick to address something that I feel like is any misconception of being a female and we're not capable of getting the work done or picking up lumber or carrying LVLs like or whatever, like Juliet, like when we came to Freight, I carry those LVLs right there. I just level it and center it on my shoulder and we're going. That's it.
I was going to say I do advanced forming where we're building walls, and it's metal. It's 8 foot by 2 foot. Some of them are 3 foot, depends on the size. And I'm carrying it across over my shoulder, across the construction site. And it's heavy, but you do what you got to do. It's technique once again. And the men, I do like it. They're like, oh, whoa, look at her. Come on now. You can do that. As a woman doing that. So sometimes it's quite funny because the guys are making fun of other guys because they're seeing us do the work. Yeah. Because on my site, there was 4 women. So I know that you said you haven't come across any, but yes, there's 4. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So
very
so
nice.
there's women coming in. There's women, and I'm just letting everybody know, just come on, you're welcome to come on in and look into it.
There's lots of space for y'all.
There's lots. And you see, I've also mentioned, I've met people, and because when they see you in your PPE or in your construction wear, many of them, especially our women, they're looking and like, oh, does she do that? Does she do that? And then you mention to them, about what you do and say, come on, like you can do it. But many of them think about it for their significant others. Oh, I will tell my husband, or I'll tell my boyfriend or my son. And I'm like, no, you can do it. You can do it. You're able to become a carpenter or tradeswoman. So many of them don't think of themselves. They will think of their male family members. So yeah.
No, that is absolutely, that's great. Someone joined late. Her name is, I think it's her, Rue Maynard says, join the meeting late. Is Ashanti available for homeowners rental projects? Sandra says, get behind the line, LOL. No, that is absolutely. So you can share also your details in the chat. Well, I think Stephanie has done that, shared your link to your website and so forth, so we can check you out there. And Juliet, you could do the same. I'm not sure if there's any sort of community-based work that you do that you would like to maybe share if you have a contact through social media or a website or something like that. I do have a couple more questions, but please, guests, audience members, please ask questions. They are here to answer them. We've had Ashanti's on site right now. She's taken a whole hour of her time to be with us today. So please ask as many questions as you'd like. What do you, I think we've answered this question already in terms of to increase diversity. Did we ask this question? What do you think needs to be done to encourage more diversity and representation in trades, particularly for Black women?
Well, for one, I think we need to hold like platforms and events like you're doing right now, where it's geared to Black women, and we you know, kind of open up the doors for them to see what's available out there. That's the best way I see it. Like, unless like Black women on their own take the initiative to explore and see that, you know what I mean, there's no barriers and you can step into the industry. You know, like that's the best thing we can do. Other than that, like I feel like we should be going out into the city and promoting and doing platforms like you're doing, just to, you know, share it to the community and let them be aware. You know what I mean? That you can do this, you know?
Certainly. Thank you. Juliet, do you have anything to add to that?
And I was going to add, that's what we're doing at my union at Local 27. We go out to many events, Black events, because our equity and diversity director is the head of all of the province of Ontario. And Chris Campbell, he's very big in the community, and we go all over and spread the word to the women and even the men too, of color. The Black men say, come on, this is what, you know, you can do as a living and make great money and learn a skill that will, you know, keep you for life. Like you're able to learn a skill that you will have for life and can use. Mm-hmm.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephanie, I think you have your hand up. Is that correct? Did you want to ask something?
Yes, I did. I'm never asked questions, so ladies should know how inspired I am.
Are you coming on camera, my dear Stephanie?
Oh goodness, must I?
Yes. You should know.
So my question, the Ontario government made an announcement, I think it was last week, where they are allowing high school students to get their high school diploma while apprenticing in the trades from grade 11 onwards. So I was wondering what your thoughts were about that announcement.
This has been going on for a while. It's called OYAP, Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. And so many of the grade 11 and 12 students, they can take their regular school, their essentials, their math, their English, and so forth. And then they can choose to work into a trades. It's almost like a co-op, but this can be used towards their diploma. And then they can go to that particular union hall and work and also do schooling with the union. And that's how they can work their way in, either to be an electrician, a plumber, or a carpenter. And so that OYAP program is it's good, and it will help a lot of youth.
Yeah, so I think the only difference with the program is that they're allowed to apprentice full-time from grade 11 onwards while still earning their full-time. Yeah, so the Ontario government just announced that last week. And I was just wondering, you know, what your thoughts were about that, because, you know, for some parents, they're challenged with their children getting their full high school education, which they claim will still happen while being thrust into that type of environment at such a young age.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's excellent. I think they're doing the right thing, right? Because they're trying to set up the youths now to get into the trades, because obviously there's a great shortage happening, right? We have our retirees that are going to be retiring, and it's going to leave a huge dent in the construction trade. So I really feel like the high schools for sure is where they actually need to go for sure, and start implementing these programs, doing workshops, woodworking workshops, you know what I mean? Having, you know, like schools have sports, basketball, why don't we get some skilled trades in there, like a plumbing class, a carpentry class, woodworking, carpentry class. Like, I think these things need to be actually implemented into the school curriculum and programs, right? And that'll help elevate them onto the next step. I feel that's really good. I love that. They need to do a lot more of that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
good.
for raising that
Yes.
point, Stephanie, because I think maybe many of us, like myself, didn't know that.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
thank
know. Good. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I think that's a good thing, as you all had mentioned, that,
Mhm.
that they're doing that, right? Because you need to encourage people getting into the trades. This is incredible. This has been absolutely incredible. Stephanie, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
You're good. You're good. We have about 3 minutes left, but I do want to just ask any final words that you'd like to share with our audience members. I think Sandra has a question. Sandra, did you want to open your mic?
Hello?
Unmute here.
Yes.
Can you hear me
Hi,
now?
Sandra. How are you? You can
Oh,
come
I'm
on.
okay, so I'm so pumped with both of you. I'm so excited. And my brand is trying to get us united and to create generational wealth. And this is a big way how we can do it. So my question is, when are you going to have classes? And when will we be notified when you do start having classes? Because essentially you can create a school, right, for kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like so it's a process. I have to. This is why, like I was saying, like I still, even though I'm a growing business, I still need like I need grants. I need help to still build certain things in my business the way I wanted to. So part of that is obviously doing a training session. So I'm right now, I'm in the process of looking for facilities, looking for a place where I can host that, like anywhere from 10 to 15 women is what I'm kind of looking towards. And then just building a platform. And of course, as soon as that hits home, like I would be everywhere. Like I'm gonna, be on my website where you can apply for the training. I'll definitely be putting it out there. So I say within 6 months or so. I'm still in the beginning stage process of that. At the same time, still working and building my business because obviously the business is scaling at this point, and I can't even imagine what's going to be like once HGTV airs. So I'm working on expanding my team as a whole so that I can have different sectors in my business, including training for sure. Yeah.
Okay, were you also on a radio station and you're advertising that you're going to be having classes for Black women? I can't imagine anybody else would have been.
A radio station, depends on which radio station would that be? Probably Vibe or either G98.7, one of them. I have done
90, no, it wasn't 98.7. I think it was more like a Caucasian type of radio station.
No.
At any rate, I wrote down the information. I had contacted someone there because I am interested in the trades. I've always been.
My aunt.
Not auntie. Yeah, I've always been interested in the trades, and I would just love to hop on board with whatever you have going on there.
Yeah, we love that for
Plus
sure.
do whatever I'm doing here and see how they could marry.
Okay,
Thank
are you in
so
Toronto?
much.
So
Yes.
Sandra, you can also let me say this, you can also reach out to the BBPA to see how they can support you in what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to keep that, so bbpa.org and so forth. We've actually gotten to the end of the show, ladies. This has been absolutely incredible. I'm gonna say, like, I'm inspired. I've been inspired this whole month to speak to incredible women. Thank you so much, Juliet Hall. Just thank you. Thank you for sharing with us today, your time. Ashanti, Osei, keep that energy, girl. Like, keep it up. We want to have you both back, hopefully someday soon. Have you both back.
I would love to.
We want some workshops.
Yeah,
reach out
would be
to
good.
us, reach out. We're getting some stuff in the chat. Thank you so much for this
You're
incredible
welcome.
session.
Yes.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Ellen.
Thank
We'll
you.
connect with you later.
All right.
They're loving you guys, or you
Thank you
ladies, I
so
should
much.
say.
I'll
They're loving
just
you, ladies.
make sure you stay connected.
Yes.
Juliet has
I
a,
will.
do you have like an Instagram or anything like that?
I can give you my email. I can give you also my phone number and so forth. Yes, I will.
That's nice. Okay, I would love to
Yeah.
connect with you.
Yes, thank
For
you.
sure.
Yeah.
And
And to all the,
yeah, for
and
me.
just a last note there to all those ladies who are interested, there are organizations, and I know that you're going to be putting one together, Ashanti, but there are organizations right now, if you want to, to move along, just to learn the skills and to learn, as Ashanti said, reading a tape measure, doing metric. And so there's, as I said, there's one called TCBN, Toronto Community Benefit Networks. And there's also Building Up, and there's Sisters in the Trades. And that goes for all different trades. Any trades that you were interested in, there is going to be a woman in there that can assist you. So that is something that you can all consider.
Yes.
Sure. I'm just reading. Thank you for that. Reading in the chat, do you all have a LinkedIn page? If you can just repeat your name again, I think it's, if you can say that.
Yeah. For me, my LinkedIn page, it's Keys to Your Home Rentals, but it is under construction a little bit. But you can definitely contact me at on Instagram at Keys Reno, sorry, KEYZRENO, and then of course my website keystoyourhomereno.com.
Very nice, very nice. Well, ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us once again on behalf of the BBPA. We're so happy to have had you and have this beautiful conversation with you. Thank you for your energy and just keep making moves. We want to see you on TV and just the incredible work that you do. And for all you audience members that have been so engaging, you're most welcome in the chat.
Thank you for the engagement. Real. Thank you guys.
Yes.
I love that. I see there's a passion there, and we're gonna work on it. We will definitely.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So you've said it, Ashanti. Keep the passion. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I do have some final announcements before you log off. If we can just get that up. Thank you once again. Have an amazing day, you ladies. Okay, so impact RRSP contributions, writing off eligible business expenses and other personal tax planning considerations. I don't believe you want to miss this. It's this Saturday on Community Space with Mr. Ken Green. He's partner and tax advisor. And then on Tuesday, March 28th at 2 p.m., we have Dwayne Morgan. He's a writer, speaker, and connector. This session is hosted by our dear Stephanie Sani Edwards, and that is on March 28th. And then last but not least, as we close off our Women History Month, Black Women in Crypto.
Yes, I will be there.
Yes, hosted by Stephanie Sani Edwards, and Emma Todd will be joining us to share. She's the founder and CEO of MMH Technology Group. This has been absolutely incredible. Join us next week. We love you and appreciate you, and see you next week, everyone. God bless. Take care.
God bless you all. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
The Business Advisory Implementation Development Service. The BATES program is a major step forward.
I believe in the economy of women. I believe in creating our own space, creating our own financial freedom.
How do you get business? How do you get financing? How do you get approved for government loans?
We have to understand and recognize what the barriers are. And then we work to break those barriers down.
We're going to sit with you and we're going to wrap you around the best experts we have.
So time is money. The more time you lose, the more money you're losing.
Success does leave clues. And if you pick up on those clues, you too can ascend in that same path.
As an organization, we've really made specific efforts to help you pivot so that you can thrive.